Good morning, boys and girls. Happy Monday. The first thing I want to talk to you about today is about your schoolwork every day. I want you to know that it's very important that you do your schoolwork every day, that you get all the assignments done that I send to you each day so that it doesn't pile up and you don't have a lot to do before it's time to hand it in. So stick with it, stay positive. You have 9 school days left before you have spring break, so you are going to get a little bit of a break soon, but you need to stick with me and work hard up until that point, okay? So today we have to talk a little bit about subjects and predicates because that's in your workbook pages. So let's take a look at those real quick. So on 9.1 in your workbook today, it talks about subjects and predicates. So in a sentence, you have to have 2 things. You have to have a subject, which is the naming part. That tells who is doing something. Okay? And then your predicate is your telling part. All right, so here's what that looks like in a sentence, and I'm going to use sentences from your workbook so you can copy these to make sure you have them correct in the workbook. The first sentence on 9.1 says, the boys and girls played in the mud. All right, so first we want to find the naming part, which is the subject. It's the who that we're talking about. And in your workbook it says underline the subject once and the predicate twice. So the boys and girls played in the mud. So we ask ourselves, who played in the mud? The boys and girls. So we underline that once. Okay? And what did they do? That's the predicate. We're going to underline that twice. They played in the mud. Now, sometimes you'll have things called compound subjects and predicates, and there's directions in your book about that too. And compound means more than one, and you'll have this word right here, and. So if you have the word and in either the subject or the predicate, then that's compound. And they want you to put a check mark above any compound subjects or predicates. So we put our check mark just like this. Okay? And that would show that the predicate, or excuse me, the subject is compound. There's 2 parts to it, the boys and the girls. Okay? So let's see if we can do one more. See how my eraser works here. It's a little fussy. Not as nice as our Promethean board at the school, that's for sure. All right, so number 2 says Ben and Jim gotta make that lowercase, right? That's in the middle of a sentence. Like to draw and color pictures. Okay, let's make sure you can see all of that. All right, so first we have to find our subject, which is our who, right? Who's doing something? Ben and Jim are doing something, so we're going to underline that once. And then we note that we have the word and there, so that makes that a compound subject, so we have to give it a check mark above. Then we have to look for our predicate. What did they do? They like to draw and color pictures. So we're going to give that part a double underline starting right here. And again, we have an and in the predicate. So we're going to give that a check mark as well. All right, so that's your subjects and your predicates, and that's for page 9.1 in your workbook. Hopefully that helps. Once you see the first two done, then you can go ahead and do the rest of the page on your own. And now I will read you chapter 4 of Pickle Puss. Emily crossed the street. Jill and Stacy walked right behind her. Beast was kneeling under his tree. Emily went closer. "What are you doing?" Beast turned around. He had a cat in his arms. "Look what I found." The cat was black. It had one white ear. It had a white tip on its tail. "I saw him last week," Emily said. The cat wiggled to get out of Beast's arms. Beast put it down. "I found him in my tree." Emily reached out to pet the cat. The cat put its back up in the air. It took a dancing step. "He's a brave one," Emily said. "That's the best kind." Stacy began to sing, "Tough, tough, Tuffy." The cat grabbed one of Emily's sneaker laces. It began to pull. "What's its name?" Jill asked. "Cat," said Beast. "I want to keep him." He raised his shoulders in the air. "But my mother said no." "I'll take him." Emily crossed her fingers. "If my mother says." "I'm feeding him," Beast said. "Milk and potato chips." Jill tossed her braids in the air. "You can't give a cat potato chips." "This cat likes them." Beast poured some out of the bag. He licked his fingers. "I like them too." Okay, here's the cat that they found playing with Emily's shoes. "Let me hold him," Emily said. She picked up the cat. It began to chew on her collar. "He should have a nice name," Emily said. "A name like Blackie," Jill said. "Tippy," said Beast. Emily shook her head. "Maybe—" "My turn," said Stacy. "Let me hold him now." "Wait," Emily said. "Come on, Emily." Stacy pulled on her arm. "I'd take him," Jill said, "but I have a dog." "Emily," Stacy said. "I want the cat right now." "Don't squish him," Beast said. "I won't," Stacy said. "What do you think? I'm a baby?" Emily tickled the cat's chin. She gave it to Stacy. "Just for a minute." The cat licked Stacy's cheek. Then it pulled on her hair. "Ouch," Stacy said. "Pickle Puss." Just then Freddie passed by. "Nice cat," he said. "He's Emily's," said Stacy. "Maybe." "How's the book?" Freddie asked Emily. 5 children in it." Emily thought about the book. She remembered putting it on the cart. Remember, that's the one that was too long. She couldn't tell that to Freddie. "It was very good," she said. She crossed her fingers. "I knew you'd like it." Freddie crossed the street. "See you later." "Give the cat back now," Beast told Stacy. "He wants potato chips, nice salty ones." Stacy shook her head. Beast reached for the cat. The cat jumped out of Stacy's arms. It raced down the street. Beast raced after it. Emily started to run too. "Get him," Stacy yelled. "Get my cat." "What about the library?" Jill called. Emily kept going. She turned the corner. She dashed up the street. She had to get the cat. Suppose he got lost again. They might never find him. Okay, that's the end of chapter 4. That was a bit of a short one, but now they've found a cat. Let's see how that goes. Have a good day today and get your work done, okay? Get it done early, and then you've got the rest of the day free.